It is a rare Sling TV Sunday, but here we are. This podcast sometimes is sponsored by Sling, and I'll send you the new deal they got in their newest offers from Sling TV. I love working with them. I love sharing their updates. I do love watching Sling on the go, or even in the house, if I'm too lazy to find the remote, right? But I digress. Yesterday was quite a day because normally my dad and I would watch every leg of the Triple Crown, and yesterday was the Preakness. And, I don't play a lot of clips from movies and everything like that, but come on. After this happened, right? After this happened, didn't it remind you of a certain movie? Let me play you the end of the Preakness Stakes first, and then we'll go into what it reminded me of after the win by Johnny V and Bob Baffert.
National Treasure, dig again, Blazing Sevens, Mage is third, it's National Treasure, it's Blazing Sevens, putting on a show in the Preakness. Who's it gonna be? It's gonna be National Treasure. John Velasquez gets his Preakness, and Bob Baffert has won his 8th one. Blazing Sevens was second best, Mage ends up third, and a great stretch run in the Preakness Stakes.
Love that call on NBC Sports yesterday. And yeah, Bob Baffert, for the first time since I can remember in 2018, being in the thick of things in the winning circle in Belmont when Justify won the Triple Crown, which of course led to multiple suspensions of Bob Baffert in different states. And yeah, the Lakers are down 3-0. Yeah, the Panthers won an OT. Yeah, the Yanks are now killing it. And the Mets play 2 today. But Bob Baffert's return to the winner's circle and the spotlight, to me, is also a big sports story. Whether you like him or not, whether you like the fact that, yes, he unfortunately did use steroids, and unfortunately, one of his horses in the undercard of the Preakness had to be euthanized yesterday on the track at the Preakness. I hate to say it to the activists out there, unfortunately that happens, and you want to know why, but for now, Bob Baffert's back in the spotlight, and good or bad for the sport, it's a major story. But how fitting is it that National Treasure won? Because I remember this clip from National Treasure.
I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
And so if yesterday didn't remind you of Nicolas Cage and just the fact that National Treasure, which is about a 20-year-old movie now, crazy to think, it feels like a parallel. It just reminded me of that. And I play that clip because obviously we've been playing a couple of different things over the last couple days. And I want to know from you, by the way, if you think I should play more audio, should focus on more society and culture. I think we focus on news a lot. I think we focus on adaptability, accountability, accessibility. But we could also focus on culture and society. And so if there's societal things you want me to address, just email me, alex@alexgnyc.com. If there's cultural things you want me to address more, alex@alexgnyc.com. We have a big week this upcoming week, and before I get to that, let me just tell you the offer by Sling TV. It's actually on my podcast Twitter, AlexG Podcast, which you can find right now on your Twitter page just by searching it. The best deal in live TV, $10 off your first month. It is a new deal from my sponsor, Sling TV. So this Sling TV Sunday, I encourage you just to check it out. You'll get playoff hockey. You'll get playoffs in the, basketball final playoffs. You'll get MLB Network. You'll get a lot of stuff on the go, and I highly recommend, and I hope they partner with Yes Network one day. That would be cool if Yes and Sling merged or create a partnership to bring the Yes Network to the Sling TV package. That would be great. But for now, Best deal in live TV, $10 off your first month. And I'm going to include the link that you can, sign up with. And by the way, if you do, I do get a bit of commission, so that would be greatly appreciated, by the way, from Sling TV, my sponsor. So there's all of that. Now, one other thing about the Preakness that brought me a little heaviness is I ended up watching it at Burger King right by the office, which I know is where my dad and I would have watched it if he were here today. And so, and at the Belmont Stakes, he would run us all over the place, signatures of every program over the years, and it was special. We wait outside the press briefing room. I'd be in the press room as the winners of the stakes were doing their press conferences. So my dad and I, very involved in the horse racing world, and I feel like he was watching with Eddie Brown, the late Eddie Brown, who was the valet for Jose Santos, who 20 years ago, on Funny Side, was in the position to win the Triple Crown. 20 years ago in Mr. Steinbrenner's suite, after he won the Preakness, probably around this time, we met Eddie Brown and Jose Santos, and I don't know if Barkley was up there, I think he was, but because Funny Side was New York born and bred, they had Jose Santos start the first pitch at Yankee Stadium. I cannot believe this is 20 years ago, but it is. So 20 years of going to the races, of being involved in the winner's circle, of even being in the New York Post after I'll Have Another had to be shut down. Remember that whole sad day? But they paraded him in the winner's circle. Would hang out with Bruce Beck, Bob Costas over the 20 years of knowing the folks at Naira and Belmont, Saratoga, Aqueduct. And then I'll tell you a special story real quick about Funny Side. Before they shipped him to Kentucky, right? So Barkley Tag shipped him to Kentucky to be to mate, I guess, to stud. And he said to my dad and I, would you like to take one lap around, one ride around with Funny Side? So outside the barn, here I was on top of a Preakness winner and a Kentucky Derby winner, Funny Side. But that all started 20 years ago. And so my dad and I made the best of that connection for nearly 20 years, thanks to Eddie Brown, thanks to Jose Santos, Jerry Bailey, Gary Stevens, Sam the Bugler, a whole bunch of people, Rick Dutro, all in the 20-year span. And hopefully, fingers crossed, Gabby and I will be at the Belmont Stakes this year. I guess that'll be the 20th anniversary of Funny Side running in the Belmont. And sometimes, that Belmont would intersect with the games. So we'd rush from the Belmont Stakes to see the final home ending dinner of the games for the physically challenged, which I'll be at also this year, sort of on a reminiscing tour, if you will. And just kind of fun. I do hope National Treasure wins the Belmont. I think that'd be kind of fun. But yeah, personally, yesterday at home, because not only would my dad watch the race, he then replayed on his computer and called me up and say, well, I saw the race again. And, he just analyzed it from start of the race to the quarter pole, the final stretch. He just analyzed it all. And did I miss hearing that yesterday? Absolutely. Did I miss having him look at my phone to watch the race replay? Absolutely. But just know, Dad, I watched it in Burger King like I know we would have. And I'll post a picture of us in the winner's circle at Belmont. The same day I'll Have Another retired. We were there, right in the middle of it, watching it all unfold in 2012. So there you go. Horse racing, and Sometimes it's frowned upon. I've noticed the activists are swarming Belmont now outside every stakes race. But you know what? It's a pastime. We pray that all these horses get treated well, absolutely. But it's a pastime, and horses are meant to run. I don't think they're meant to be whipped 5,000 times, but they're meant to run. And they're beautiful horses. They're beautiful animals to watch when trained properly. And I am so proud of Johnny V. I don't know if you remember this. Johnny Velasquez suffered a fall years ago. And I don't think anybody thought he'd be the same. But here he is a few years later, winning a Preakness, his first Preakness. And then, of course, what I learned today is actually National Treasure had some foot problems as well. He had a bruised foot. But they healed him up, and there he is in the winner's circle in Pimlico last night. So pretty special comeback story for him, it seems like, and for Baffert, and for Johnny V to finally get that Preakness. Good person, good guy. Can't wait to see a lot of them, hopefully, at Belmont this upcoming year. I'm Alex Garrett. On the Alex Garrett Podcast Network at Sling TV Sunday, and that means you can just click the link for a special link to save $10 off your first month with Sling TV. News, sports, even some other channels on the go for you. They have a really great package. You got to check them out. Sling TV. Blue and orange cover your CNNs, Fox Newses, your ESPNs, your, how do you say it? Your MLB networks, your NHL network, your even your Big Ten, ACC, all those different channels. They have it. And they even have the local. They have NYW and ABC7 and Fox 5 right there for you on the go in case you want to watch some sports today on Sling TV. Check it out. It's a beautiful day out. Get outside, but take Sling on the go with you, will you? Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.